Before we begin, turn down the lights, put on your headphones, and if you're watching this alone, don't look behind you. Tonight's story comes from Philippine folklore, passed down in whispers, warnings, and prayers said too late. In the provinces, elders still believe that when the night grows unnaturally quiet and the dogs begin to cry, something ancient is hunting. This is not just a story about a monster. This is a story about the aswang and what happens when it chooses your home. The barrio of San Isidro slept early. At sundown, doors were bolted, windows sealed, and garlic was nailed above every frame. The old people said night was no longer safe the way it used to be. Not since the tick-tick started. Mara had only been living there for 3 weeks. She was a nurse sent from the city to care for a pregnant woman named Aling Rosa, whose husband worked overseas. The pregnancy was strange. Rosa grew weaker as her belly grew larger. She barely ate, barely slept, and her eyes always drifted toward the ceiling at night. "Do you hear it?" Rosa would whisper. Mara never did. On the 4th night, the dogs began to howl. One by one, the sounds of the barrio faded. Crickets, frogs, even the wind. The silence pressed against the house like a held breath. Mara checked her watch. Midnight. Then she heard it. Tick, tick, tick. Faint, distant, almost harmless. Mara smiled nervously. "Just a bird," she said, though her voice shook. Rosa grabbed her wrist with surprising strength. "That's what it wants you to think," she whispered. "If it sounds far, it's already close." The tick-tick stopped. Something scraped across the roof. Slow. Heavy. Mara froze as a shadow slid past the thin ceiling. The lantern flickered, and a sour stench filled the room, like rotting meat left under the sun. Rosa whimpered and pulled the blanket over her swollen stomach. Then a long black tongue slipped through a crack in the roof. It moved like a living thing, wet and searching, tasting the air. Mara watched in horror as it lowered itself toward Rosa's belly, twitching with hunger. She tried to scream. No sound came out. Outside, wings unfolded, wide, leathery, powerful. The house creaked as something crouched above them. The tongue touched Rosa's skin. Rosa